Boom. We're here. We are here. It is Tuesday, May 5th. We're here. I turned 30 last Friday, son. 30. Fucking 30. Big 3-0. And it was a great weekend. I've had a lot of emotions over the past, so I recorded last Thursday, that went up, and a lot of emotions from Thursday. It's been 5 days, and we're feeling good, man. We're feeling good. Let me just say, I have no more lies. I have no more lies, and we'll talk about why I say that in a little bit, but, so Thursday recorded a podcast that went up. We're only going to do one monologue a week. I have a lot to say, but I'm saying the same bullshit over and over again. So let me just shut up and, record one podcast a week this way. Now we will have some sort of interview or story, a monologue for me, and then Benny and Jesse. And if we have some bonus interviews or some bonus stories, we'll have them. Or if something comes up where Jesse, Benny, and myself will podcast. If something comes up, then we'll do another one. But to schedule 2 monologues a week is just fucking unrealistic. And boom, said the fuck word again, twice, 1, 2 in 50 bars. So I'm a winner, you know. So I want to talk about a few different things. 30th birthday, Friday, wanted to spend time with my family. You know, my partner and I have only spent 2 weekends, two nights without the kids in 3 years and some change. 2 nights alone. So what did we do? So Friday, just hung out with the kids, cooked dinner. We started a project on the house, had dinner with the family, ate a shit ton of cookies, ate about 5 or 6 cookies. By the way, it's thick boy season, son. I am thick as shit right now. God damn, I'm thick. And it is not fantastic. I do not feel good about it. Don't feel good about it. But I ate 5 or 6 gluten-free cookies. At least I'm not inflamed. What's up, son? My joints don't hurt. Gut biome is safe. Fuck. So I ate 6 cookies and just chilled on Friday, and then Saturday hung out with the kids. I was in a good mood. Hung out with the kids, relaxed, meditated, did my thing. Since that weekend where I didn't meditate, you know, I was so shitty the following couple of days. I'm not doing that again. I gotta find time. Gotta make time. You can always find time. That means you gotta wake up early or step out. If you have, you know, someone to back you up with the kids, you gotta make time. So, Saturday, you know, hung out with the kids, hung out with the family. Then we dropped the kids off. I was worried the whole time because my son is a lot. He's a lot. He's busy. I was busy too as a kid. So, you know, there was no way I was getting out of this unscathed with like the perfect, you know, calm little kid. So he's busy, and I felt bad for his grandma. And not felt bad, but, you know, it's hard. So she chased him around for a day, you know, almost a full day, almost a full 24 hours. We had a family gathering. I know we're not supposed to gather, but I've been around the same people every multiple times a week for the past 7 weeks. I think we're okay. And the kids got to go in the pool. My son, he can't swim yet. He's learning. He's kicking. He's learning. But he was so tired out from the pool that he slept. He went to sleep early, and then he slept hella long. So we're always fortunate we're always, feel grateful for when he can sleep and chill. So that was my 30th birthday. That was my 30th birthday. I'm not a big holiday or birthday person. My 21st birthday, I was in a bar, almost essentially alone in a bar drinking. I don't even remember. 18th birthday, I have no clue what I did. 25th birthday was shitty. Last year's birthday, my kid was fucking driving me crazy. I got a lobster roll, like a roll of a sushi roll with lobster on it. It was terrible. Ate like my meal was ruined. Didn't want to spend more money at the sushi spot. It was just trash birthday. But I'm not excited about my birthday. I don't ever make my birthday a thing. So they end up trash. But why this one is so big is because I didn't think I was going to make it this far. And some motherfuckers didn't want me to live this long. People didn't want me to live this long. It's bad. You have a real impact on people when they don't want you to live. I was a bad guy. I'll say that out loud. As this guy was sharing something the other day, people were saying he was a good guy when he was drinking. I was not. I was a bad person. And I did bad things. So as a bad person who did bad things, people wanted me dead. And I was in that life. So people wanted me fucking dead. And you know what? Fuck you. I'm alive, son. A guy actually called me when I first got sober and said some awful thing. He's a bad person too, though. Let's just say that out loud. He's a bad person too, and he was always a bad person. He's the kind of person with all the privilege in the world would curse the cops out like, you're not a tough guy, bro. You never been a tough guy. Never been a tough guy. You couldn't defend yourself. You couldn't defend yourself or your family if you tried. And he would talk shit to the cops because he knows the cops wouldn't hurt him at the time. Soft as shit. But he wanted me to die. And guess what? I'm not only 30. I'm thriving. My boy did a podcast with Kevin Francis last week, and someone said to him, so many people in our generation are obsessed with a lifestyle and not a life. And you know what? I live a full life. Got beautiful family, do this podcast, do things that I absolutely love. I get to do things that I absolutely love all the time. Even with my work, I love what I do. Lifting weights, working out, I love doing it. Meditating, I love doing it. Podcasts, I love doing it. My work, I love doing it. My friends, I love hanging out with them. My family generally love hanging out with them and being with them. My parents love them and appreciate them, and I'm grateful for them. AA, fucking love it. I owe my whole life to AA. And that's the life I live today. I live a life. And before it was about a drug dealer lifestyle or a player lifestyle or a bodybuilder lifestyle, fitness lifestyle. It was about living, fitting within that. But was I actually living? Was I actually actively participating in life? Now I am. Now I'm actively participating. That's one thing that's huge for me as a parent, because a lot of parents, raise their children on the periphery. Does that make sense? Where they didn't actively participate. I know a lot of our parents back in New York, they couldn't because they were so busy. Because New York is a place where you got to make money, bro. You got to grind. Just to survive, you got to grind. I couldn't cut it. But, they were so busy, they couldn't balls deep participate, and now I'm so proud that I actively participate in my son's life. Everything my partner does, I do too. When it comes to him, everything she does, I do with him too. I'm very proud of that. So let me read something really quick. And I talk about this all the time within my coaching, and I talk about it on the podcast, but I'm going to read the exact quote I talk about. The reason I'm going to read this is because when it comes to weight loss and fitness, there's something people are very quick to judge people who are overweight. And that's one thing, one side, we judge. And the reason I judge, or I'm so harsh on it, is because I know there's a demoralization there. And I know what demoralization feels like. And the idea of being demoralized and not being able to, not seeing it or caring about it, looking in the mirror and saying, I feel this way, and feeling so low that you just accept that you look that way. It's very sad. If you think about, like, deep down, think about it. Like, you're morbidly obese. It's killing you. It's literally killing you. You look in the mirror and you're so demoralized. You think so low of yourself that you think that that's what you deserve. That's what they think. They deserve that. And they think that they cannot change. People like that think that they cannot change it. This is just the way it is. But I'm reading this right now because I'm from the school of thought that demoralization and that feeling of being low can be the best thing that ever happened to you. And I'll read as to why. Upon entering, we soon take quite another view of this absolute humiliation. We perceive that only through utter defeat are we able to take our first steps towards liberation and strength. Our admission of personal powerlessness finally turns out to be the firm bedrock upon which a happy and purposeful life may be built. We know that little good can come to anybody who struggles. Well, let's paraphrase there, unless he has first accepted his devastating weakness and all of its consequences. So we avoid shame, but you have to fully understand the full consequences, the destructiveness and consequences when it comes to abusive behavior, when it comes to being overweight, when it comes to promiscuity, when it comes to workaholism, when it comes to, all of the isms and all of the compulsions. We have to fully understand how it's affecting our lives. If you're working so much that it's affecting your health and affecting the way you participate within your family, you have to fully understand that you're abandoning your family and that you're putting your family second. I understand food and shelter. I understand it, but maybe live life a little bit, lower your means, lower your quality of life so you could actually participate. I think most children will say, I'd rather have less things and more of my parents. I think if you ask people who have grown up, that's what they would rather. And I know it doesn't seem like that when you're a parent. You say, I'd rather have things. Some people say the more nice things your children have, the more things to take away so they can be disciplined and, learn more lessons and things like that. Yes. But understand that if you're putting work above your health and your family, you are destructively, misprioritizing. I don't know if that's a word. If you're putting food, if you're eating whatever you want to the point that it's destroying your health, destroying your quality of life, destroying your knees, risking heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. If you're willing, and I've had so many people say to me, but I like eating. I like food. Fuck, we all do. We all do. At what cost? At what cost? And you have to fully understand how you're affecting yourself. The fucked up thing is, it's not my place to shame anybody. I can't tell you that. I can't say, hey, you're fucking killing yourself with your weight. You are fucking killing yourself with food. You are going to die. And if you don't die, you're just getting lucky. Oh my God. That's so fucked up. But it's true. Absolute fact. That is not my opinion. You are destroying yourself with food. But I can't say that to people. I'm saying it right now. But you can't say that to anybody because it's awful to say. And it's not my place to say. There's lots of things that are not my place to say. If you're neglecting your family and neglecting your health because of your work, that's not my place to say. That's not my place or your place. If you're cheating on your girl, which I am a cheater. So I'm not speaking from a place of judgment. I have cheated a ton and have been a misogynist. So I'm talking about me. But if you're willing to put your sexual needs and your need for attention, your seeking for validation, your low self-esteem, if you're willing to put that above the needs of others, that is destructive. That is destructive. Before the needs of your family, that is destructive. But you can't tell me that. You couldn't tell me that. And guess what? People told me that and I couldn't listen because it's not my place to shed the light on anybody, which is fucked. It's fucked up because the only way it changes is if you have that self-realization. People have interventions, but interventions don't work. I had to tell you. I know lots of people who've had interventions who have died, or who have never stayed sober or can't stay sober. Their parents intervene. The rest of their families intervene. The law intervenes. They get arrested. More drug addicts don't get sober than do, by far. So, and the police intervene all the time. Rehabs and other institutions intervene all the time, and they still don't stay sober. How many addicts do I know who have been to 13 treatment centers, 10, 8 treatment centers, 20 treatment centers? Only when they're ready. Fuck, man. So the point is, shame. I've just wrote an article about this yesterday. Shame is a good thing. Humiliation, humility is a good thing. But it's not anybody's responsibility to make you feel it. That's the thing. But stop avoiding it. I know self-love is important because there's cycles of shame. There's self-destructive cycles where we obsess and we ruminate. We can't move on, and it begets more of the destructive cycle. We feel shame about our behavior. So, like I did it with my cheating. I would cheat. I would feel like shit about it, and then I would need to get some attention in order to feel better about it and feel better about myself. And then I would have sex with that person. Then I'd feel better. And then I'd feel shame. And I would only feel better for a minute. I've sat at the end of a bed many times and said, I shouldn't have done this. Terrible to do to those women. Terrible to do. Fuck, man. I was a bad person. I told you. I was a bad guy. But there was this cycle of shame. This cycle of I don't like myself, feel better to a point where it hits a breaking point, hit that breaking point, feel shame again, feel shame for a period of time, and then start the cycle over. It's the same thing with addiction. When you start pushing your boundaries, pushing your thresholds. It's the same thing with a lot of things. Same thing with food. People eat something fucked up, and then they say, fuck it, I ruined the day. Now they eat a bunch of fucked up shit, and now they feel bad about what they've eaten. And then they say, okay, I'm going to start over tomorrow, eat something fucked up again because they need to feel better. I'm under that belief system too. I'm under the belief system that it all comes from a whole inside. And that the reason obesity is rising is because there's a culture of demoralization. People are underpaid and overworked. People are undervalued. People are not taking care of their well-being. I think people are demoralized. 30% of the population is clinically obese now. 30, probably closer to 40 now. 50% is to be projected to be clinically obese by 2030. Half the population clinically obese. Heart disease is already the number one killer in this country. So we're literally killing ourselves within our work and with our food and with drugs. We're killing ourselves. But it's not that people are just stupid. We're sacrificing everything. That's why Donald Trump is so popular, dude. He's the addictive shadow self of so many people. Says what he wants. He doesn't give a fuck. He says what he wants and does what he wants. And that resonates with so many people who are repressed, who feel like they're disenfranchised. They're like, wow, this motherfucker, they say he's what a poor person thinks rich people are like. Just doesn't give a fuck, does whatever he wants. Grab her by the pussy. Just do that. As an adult man, say that. That's crazy. And that's what's another interesting thing about the Donald Trump thing is that no one can say that he's not immoral. He's immoral. He says things that are bad. He says bad things and believes bad things. Period. That's not my opinion. I think general consensus. I've even heard Republicans say that he's crass, or, first of all, if a black person spoke like that, he would be unemployed. He would be unemployed, and in that world would just be ruined. If I said things like that, I'd be ruined. Fucking terrible. No one would ever work with me if I said the things that he said. But, he is the shadow self of so many people. And people are willing to compromise. People are willing to compromise their values in order to feel like they're winning, because they're not winning other places in their life. They feel like they're not winning at their job. They feel like they're not winning in their relationships and their families. Man, and who the fuck am I? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But this is just my opinion. Everybody's got an opinion about life like this, right? So whatever. I'm not speaking from a place of some sort of authority. I'm speaking from just a person. So many people. Everybody has their political and cultural opinions. This is just mine. And I only say that because I watch people who feel like this all the time. I have felt this way. My thing was just looked different, but I can see the same traits culturally. I see the same traits. And where I think self-destructive behavior is self-destructive behavior. It's an inside thing, whether the external may be affecting the inside, so you can blame other things, but either way, to solve an obesity problem, people have to be willing to look at themselves. Then again, I can't tell you, I can't shame you. So you got to look at yourself. And the sad thing is, and the same thing with drug addiction, same thing with obesity, same thing with workaholism. Some people will work their whole lives and die alone. Some people will be dating people and serial daters, and some people will be married, multiple people, and then die that way chasing the thing, whatever the thing is, and they'll die that way. So that's the same thing with drug addicts too. Some drug addicts will die using. They will. And most people who are overweight and don't take care of their health will die from it. Most people will. And you're not supposed to say this. You're not supposed to say that, but it's a fucking fact. It is not my opinion. But have compassion for those people, because they're sick people. Someone who's clinically obese, we have this whole mentality where we hate them, and that's why people want to talk about a level of acceptance, don't body shame, things like that, because people do it with contempt. There's a fit shame, and I'll talk about that in a second, but there's a contempt for people who don't take care of themselves, like, oh, they're lazy or things like that. No, think of how sad it is to look at yourself in the mirror, to kill yourself over decades and just look at yourself and hate the way you look, and do that to the point where you don't care anymore. You just give up. Damn, that's deep. If you think about how deep that is, it's fucked up, man. It's demoralization. It's humiliation. It's bankruptcy. It's bankruptcy, and you're trying to fill your tank with X, Y, or Z, whatever that may be. And let's talk about the fitness industry. There's bankruptcy. I watch it. And I was bankrupt and I know, and I did everything and lived the entire life that these people do. And you can keep chasing a great body and you can think it's working, but I know you, bro. I know you. You're bankrupt. I know you. I talk to you. I talk to hundreds of you. And guess what? I just wrote an article about this. That fitness influencer, I know them. The reason they work so hard is because they pinch their belly and they think they're fat. Mr. Olympia thinks that when he's fluffy, he's fat. He says that because he sees himself as fat. They say it. And guess what? I think of myself, I'm fat right now. Fat's for me and I can defend it all I want. But it's a sickness. And the people who you're looking up to, they have it more than anybody. And it's more irrational to that person. And they're chasing it too. We're all chasing it, myself included. What the fuck, man? But maybe that's life. Maybe that's part of life. We chase the thing and hopefully one day we realize that the thing doesn't matter and the thing that matters is family and love. Boom. Maybe we all seek and we finally understand that. And that's what life is about, the realization. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's life. The realization. Hopefully you realize one day that you're worth it and that what you have is great and that your family is great and no life is better than yours. And maybe one day you seek and you get it. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's it. And which is cool. Then remove the judgment because we're all doing it. remove the judgment. That's the journey of life where we're navigating this maze, and within this maze is workaholism and overeating and sex, sex addicts and promiscuity and coveting things and just seeking externally. Maybe that's the battle going through the maze. We're seeking, only to find that the answer is within. That sounds pretty cool, actually. That sounds pretty tight. Maybe that's the story. Maybe that's it. But my friend Shelby, quote unquote, said a few weeks ago, productivity does not define me. Oh, she dropped bars. I know some people that couldn't even understand what she's saying. Some people cannot understand what she's even saying. It's a different language, coded language, son. We speaking coded language, baby. This shit goes over your heads. Can't even perceive what we're saying. The reason I talk shit about people's crystals so much is because they think the crystals are there, the spirituality is there with no philosophy. But you know what? Maybe that is their seeking as well. Eric, you're so judgmental. I'm so judgmental, bro. But it's because I judge myself. And that comes from disdain for myself. I'm demoralized too. I have a very low self-esteem. That's why, I seek and I try to, I hope that if I create enough and to put enough positive energy in the world that I'll forgive myself and, maybe the world will forgive me, kill me, sue me. That's what I'm trying to do. But maybe I'll realize at the end of the rainbow that I just had to forgive myself, probably. But I'm going to keep trying because I'm just like you, seeking some bullshit too. Christian faith says I'm already forgiven. I don't know, bro. You don't know either. But I'm talking like I know. That's the thing. But that's why I started a podcast, so I can talk shit. But all this stuff is bullshit. Everything I'm talking about is bullshit. Just some of it may make sense, but it's nonsense. It doesn't pay the bills. Right now, at this moment, this does not pay the bills. This actually costs money, but I love it. It's so much fun. But I have no more lies. Let's talk about it. I had no more lies. When I stopped using, I had no more lies. I had no more bandwidth. I just was out of luck. And when I stopped cheating, I had no more lies, dude. Someone said that in a meeting yesterday. I had no more lies. That's so fucking huge. That's huge. That's humility. The idea that you're not going to figure it out. You're not going to figure it out, bro. You're not going to find the formula. I think back to the original, what I was originally talking about, the meat and potatoes, we're all trying to find the formula. I'm not going to find it. Yeah, man. So, something interesting, I think we're going to talk about it together, with Jesse and Benny is, holding the vote hostage. P. Diddy was on a web show, an online show with Naomi Campbell, and he talked about holding his vote hostage, how black people have been Democrats for so long, and Democratic candidates just assume that black people are going to vote for them. And guess what? I'm one of those black people that in this race, and that's why hearing that was huge. In this race, I was going to vote for Joe Biden off principle. And I think and I've said this before, it's my birthright. It is so many people died for me to vote. So many people spend so much of their lives not looked at as a person, so they couldn't vote, or they were blocked. And it's people still today. So people are still getting their voting rights challenged and putting obstacles in front of it. So the fact that I can vote, I should vote. And I'm not going to vote, Republican, because I think there's so much racism in conservatism. There's so much of it. And to the point where a lot of conservatives can't perceive that it's racist and, bigoted. Every man for themselves. But it can't be every man for themselves because there's been so much destruction that the only way things are going to get solved in certain areas or certain parts of life is if we help each other. I think Democrats and liberals are the party of compassion. That's why I vote Democrat. But Joe Biden is not someone I want to vote for. Elizabeth Warren would have proudly voted for her, even though she did some shady ass shit. Would have voted for her though. It would have been good for culture. May not have been exactly what I wanted. Would have been good for culture. Bernie obviously was my choice. That would have been, ideal. That would have been so outside the box. That would have been our version of Trump, but in a compassionate way. But that's not the option. But I was going to vote for, am I going to vote for Joe Biden just off principle? No, honestly, now I'm not. I'm going to vote, in the local elections in San Diego. I would love for San Diego. San Diego is generally pretty conservative in a lot of regards, but I would love to see San Diego, work on our homelessness and have more compassion. I'd like to see San Diego have more compassion because it is a rich person's city. It's a wealthy city, but let's provide more services. Let's try to provide more services. So, yeah. But I'm not going to be as extreme as saying that I'm holding my vote hostage, but I don't want to just vote for someone for the sake of voting for them. And yes, Donald Trump is shittier, but am I actually using the way it was intended to be used? Or am I just doing it off of blackness, off of what I'm expected to do? Which that is not what I'm about. That's not what I'm about. I'm not about just doing it for the sake of doing it. I want to vote for somebody I believe in. And Joe Biden is banking on the fact that black people will just vote for him without the black and brown vote. No Democrat has a chance without the black and brown vote. No Democrat ever has a chance. And I think we should stop giving it away. We should stop giving the vote away. And even the endorsements he's gotten have been, people know he's not the best. He's not the best. He is not the best candidate. He's not the best person for the job. He is not. It's just business as usual, Gross, man. So let Donald Trump win again. Fuck it. And things are going to go bad. And things may go bad. And fuck it. Things may go bad. Things may go bad. And they already went bad. They've gone bad for 4 years. So another 4 years of things going bad. The one thing I will say is the economy was booming. People were making money, and I was distracted by that. And as long as people are able to feed their families, I can look away from some other stuff, not sacrificing my values, but understanding that, there's nothing, we didn't have a better option. But we do. He is the better option. But then I'd be sacrificing my values again. There's no win situation. But then I'm under like the conspiracy theory, school of thought that like we were never intended to participate. I had a political science professor explain the way our democracy was set up, and it was never intended for all of us to participate. Never from the beginning. And yes, it's improved, but still we only get half the population votes, and that's the way it's good that it's that way for the people in power. It's good for them because they have to just do what 50% of the population has to do, not what the other, 100 something million. 100 million. So many fucking people. There's so many people in this country we can't even perceive how many people there are. You don't even know what 300 plus million looks like. If you showed me on a calculator, I'd be like, yeah, that's a fake number, whatever. I guess I got to believe you that there's 300 million people here. There could be, in my mind, there could be 200,000 in my, you know what I mean? I can't perceive what that many people looks like. In New York, you can kind of see it. LA, you can see like, oh, there's so many people here. But 300 million, all right, I guess I believe you. It's a stupid system. I've said this before. It's not a stupid system. It's the greatest system on the planet. Blah, 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 blah. I agree. That's why I love it here. We live in this is the greatest situation ever. And I said this last week. more of this, more of that, boom, 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 great. But the idea that this thousand, maybe 1,000 people represent 300 million people, stupid. And then these people are supposed to represent all ethnicities, all sexual orientations, all both gender, all genders, whatever, all genders, are supposed to be represented. Just, it doesn't work. And then, I'm from the school of thought that we old white people have been in charge for long enough. Let somebody else call the shots. Let's see what happens. You can have input too. Oh, but whatever. It's a mess. And I don't really know what I'm just talking bullshit. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just chatty Cathy in it up. But ran out of lies, and powerlessness and understanding. Being humble is my priority. Let's wrap it up with that. Being humble is my priority. Understanding that I don't know, understanding that I don't got it, understanding that I may never figure it out. Maybe that's what being a human is seeking out, not seeking externally, but seeking within. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the story. Maybe it's going through the maze, seeing all the distractions, and some people get stuck in the maze and only function within the distractions. Maybe finding that the way out, you already know the way out internally. Maybe that is life. So let me not judge people for seeking in their own regard. That's their journey. I only get frustrated because I'm ashamed of myself and judge myself. I just judge myself very hard. So that's why I get frustrated. But we did good today. It was easy peasy. Let's wrap it up. We have some stories coming up this week. We have Jesse and Benny. This will go out today. Video will go up tomorrow on YouTube. Oh yeah, go to our YouTube channel, Big Mood Space TV. Like, subscribe, share. We're gonna build up our YouTube. We're building a Twitch. We're gonna be live streaming in the next couple weeks, and our Patreon will go up. And we would love for the few listeners we have to become patrons and participate. And we'll read letters and make this interactive and make this a thing that we're all doing, because I don't want this to just be me. I don't, that goes back to the thing. I don't want things to just be me or just be about me. So we'll wrap it up. We out.